Hey, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Ardmore Connect. As always, my name is Josh Pagan.
And I'm Brian Cronin, and this week we have Sonny and Davis from Sesami Eats, a brand new establishment that just opened up about a month or so ago, am I correct, in Ardmore?
Yeah, so Sesame, we are an establishment, fast casual Asian, I like to call it Asian American food, just because the food that we put out there, it's really from the lens of an Asian Americans like ourselves. We really take the best tidbits of different cultures from like Korea. We have a lot of Chinese recipes, and we put it into our bowls. So to taste the flavors, it's all mix and match. Reason is just because sometimes just growing up, sometimes we have leftovers, sometimes leftovers from restaurants, leftovers from like the house, and fresh food, and we just mix it all together. And this is just how we like to eat our food. And the recipes are like, some of them are very basic, like our broccoli, for instance. It's just blanch, a little salt, a little sugar, sesame oil. Some of them are a lot more intricate. Say, for instance, like our pickles, cucumber pickles. There's a little spice in them, a little kick from the rice wine vinegar, but it all mixes really well in terms of our bowls. And one of the things I would say that really makes it is, and this is why I call it the Asian American food, is also our sauces. Our sauces pretty much pays homage to like things growing up, like our green sauce. It's a scallion cilantro sauce that we make in house, and that's kind of like when we go out to eateries in Chinatown. There's a very typical sauce that has scallion and ginger in it, but it cuts the meat. So we kind of did a play on that as well, and that's our signature green sauce. And the other ones as well, like our carrot ginger, that pays homage to like the Japanese eateries. When you go out, kind of have like that salad and the carrots in there, the sesame, a lot of umami, and that works as a great dressing. Yeah, we have fun with our foods, and one of the things that we love doing is making our munchies.
I was just looking at that. I'm looking at your menu right now, and it's
Okay.
hats on here, and I'm like, that's calling my name right now. I'll tell you what. So let me ask you guys this: these are primarily recipes you guys have just had going on since you've been growing up.
Yeah, a mixture kind of between mixture of like from the industry, from like chefs and restaurants that we worked at. A lot of them are like passed down from like generation. Like say like our relatives, typically a lot of our meats the marinade comes from when we do gatherings, right? When we do gatherings, like trays and trays of like barbecue chicken or like Chinese style roast pork, and we take that and we make it into our own over here as well. But yeah, it's a lot of things that we gathered throughout the years.
So let me ask you this: when you're making like some of the sauce, is it exactly measured every time, or is it like, nope, that's good, I kind of got this one by my eyeball test this time?
It's a little bit of both.
I like it.
It's a little of both. So
That's
the thing so the thing about being like the chef right now, like everything's in my head, and one of my responsibilities is to be able to get things on paper.
Yep.
That being said, predominantly everything right now is by taste, but we're starting to transition into a standardized format. So that way later on when we grow, we have all that. But there's a lot of variables as well, just because of, veggies are fresh. Like say a carrot, for instance, a carrot that we get like, today and a carrot that we get 3 days from now might have a different crunch, different sweetness, different flavor, and we also have to incorporate all those into how we develop our recipes.
Right. No, that makes
total sense. I guess a lot of the vegetables, in theory, taste the same, but in theory, but in actual, they probably aren't. Maybe they're not as fresh, and their flavor is a little bit different. Is that
in our restaurant? Between not necessarily fresh, but like, I mean, I'm starting to learn how to garden right now as well. Just knowing when something was picked and how it comes in. Different flavors. We try our raw ingredients all the time and trying to figure that part out. And then even afterwards, after we marinate, after we take care of the vegetables ourselves. From day one up until like day 3 of our vegetables, that will change as well. Because there's so every single day we're always kind of learning and knowing how like our flavor profiles change, and that's kind of the complicated part of all this.
Sure, that makes sense. Do you guys shop locally when it comes to you getting your produce and your meats? Like, do you have a specific place that you go to?
Yeah, we always want to kind of support small businesses. So one of the things that we do is actually we source from like small businesses that provides for other small minority businesses as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a lot of they pretty much provide a lot of produce and meats to the local Philly area. And then also one of the things that I'm really big on in terms of supporting local businesses is also supporting like supermarkets, right? So one of the things that we have a contract worked out is a supermarket that's been in the Philly area for quite a amount of years now. But recently, within these last 2 years, they've been popping up more supermarkets. It's called, I might be butchering the name if there's any Vietnamese people watching this. It's called Hung Wong. But they have one in Mayfair now, Cherry Hill, and then the original was in South Philly. So they're one of their business models as well as to promote small businesses, small minority-owned businesses, by putting our name out there, and then we reciprocate that as well by like giving their students as well as their like price shopper members a discount as well. So yeah, we try to do as much kind of reciprocation in terms of promoting small businesses and by sourcing from local and small business as well.
So how did you guys get your footing? Like, what made you decide to say, hey, you know what, let's start a restaurant. Let's call it, like, how did you guys start your business? And a two-parter, how did you end up, because I know you're not from Ardmore, how did you end up in Ardmore? So so basically, how did you guys start your business? And then how did you end up in Ardmore?
Yep.
Yeah, so so there's 5 of us total actually as partners in this restaurant. And in the beginning, it was just me and Davis and one of my other partners, Jason. He's over there working. And we were trying to like, hey, let's do something. We're all excited. We wanna just want to try something, be out of our comfort zone. And we know Davis, his background is he's actually a professional chef by day, and we're like, you know what, we want to start a restaurant, and we were trying to go through a few models, and at first we we're trying to do like a Korean, banchan type Korean fried chicken. We want to do like a bubble tea shop, and just run some numbers. Is this something that we really want to do? And we just kept going in circles. We're not sure what we want to do. Afterwards, we brought on 2 more guys. These are our close buddies as well too. And we went back to the drawing board. Went back to square one. And the question we asked is like, what is it that we like to eat? And that is the first question we want to answer. And we all start to bring something up like, oh, I like Chinese food. I like Korean food. I love stuff that my mom makes all the time. All right, let's write them all down. And Davis, he's very like able to adapt really well into like just give him a kitchen and he can mix something like out of nothing. And he made these bowls. I'm like, yo, this can sell. This is good. I like this stuff. And a lot of this pay homage to some of our upbringings. And so we're at his house every single day, eating the same stuff every single time. Like, you know what? I think we got the recipe down. And Jason, he's actually a realtor, so he was shopping around for like a place to be in. He found Ardmore. This little place in Ardmore. It's more residential, but we liked it a lot. The community here is very supportive, um, and they're very engaging, and we really like that. Because like versus like you go somewhere else like Center City, everyone like don't really care who you are, they just want to eat and leave, right? But here it's kind of like let's get to know each other kind of thing. So it's a very like close tight community, and we really do appreciate that. So that's how we came about.
Well, that's great. I mean, so I think it's kind of cool that you bring the homage to what you grew up is, but you
Yeah.
also do a twist on what you're doing today with your generation. So you're taking the traditional recipes and then you're just giving a little flair of how you would want to eat it today. Is basically what I'm understanding.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty cool concept, and I've been looking at your menu as you guys have been talking, and like just some of this stuff just seems amazing. Like, huge fan of pork bulgogi, so I'm gonna have if I butcher that name, excuse me, but um, I will be there to check that out when I get back over to Arden. I mean
Have you
that's
you said there's five of you, right? So were you guys all in school together, or did you all grow up together? Like, how did you all get to know each other and become a partner? Because having one partner is tough, but having five, I mean, that's got to be crazy.
There's good and bad, and the bad thing is that like I guess like whatever profit we got split 5 ways, right? But hey, it is what it is. But
Sure.
the good thing is that we are able like starting any kind of business, starting any kind of restaurant, it's tough. And anyone out there does this, they know exactly what we're talking about. And especially the whole COVID thing, it was a little tough on us as well too. But the great thing about having five guys, that would have been a great name for our restaurant.
I think
Is
it's
that
great.
we already spread the load to 5 people. Versus a lot of most restaurants, they probably have like one part, like either solo, two partners, three at max. That makes sense, right?
Sure.
But the fact that we should spread the load to 5 people, we're not going crazy, But at the same time, we're balancing it out, we're working it out and stuff like that. How we came about is we're all churchgoers. We all go to the same church in Chinatown, Philadelphia. So me, Davis, my other partner Leo, and
Shout out to Chinese Christian Church and Center.
hey guys,
Yeah.
and Jason as well too. So the four of us, we go to the same church, and some of us we actually knew each other for like over 10 years. So yeah, we really value our friendship, we value our loyalty, and that kind of spills into the restaurant. Wherever we need help, we just go share it out.
Did you guys have from what I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you were planning on opening obviously a lot sooner before COVID happened. Am I correct?
Yeah, we were planning to open like back in March. We were like, you know what, we are ready to go. Got our I's dotted, T's checked, T's crossed, and next thing you know, a week later, the county is like, everyone's closing down. Can't do it.
That Thursday, we're kind of like, news feeds all over. Montgomery County needs to shut down, and it was tough. It was a very decision to make.
And I'm sure you just bought all that food and you're all ready to cook for that weekend. And
Yeah, we stocked up on a lot of food. We did a soft opening a week before. Soft
okay.
opening went really well, and then we pretty much geared up for that weekend, ready to start. And we ate a lot of sesame bowls that week.
I'm sure you did.
I'm sure exactly you did. I want to give you guys props on first off making it this far, because most businesses that went through this are either not there anymore or have been through this for years. So the fact you guys were about to ramp up and are still on this track is just something amazing. I'm also still like messing around your website, and it just looks so clean. Like, it looks like you guys have been here for years. Like, you're the expert in this field, and you don't really see that every day, and a lot of people don't realize how important that is. So I want to give you major props on how clean your website is. Everyone has to check out their website. It just looks like like perfect. The menu on here is just amazing.
And I do got to ask you questions. So prior to the show, I guess I asked you, obviously, other than your own business, what other businesses have you visited or do you like going to in Ardmore?
Yeah, so we shop at DMI a lot.
Oh,
In fact, it's only like 3 blocks away. Freaking flyers. Yeah, because we did our own renovation. We did some renovation on our own, just to like put down costs, and so go DMI a lot to like, hey guys, you know, and some of the ideas that we talked to some of the guys over there, they give some ideas like how you should raise this place up, what kind of wood you should use. So they really, I think that's part of the Ardmore community. They really just want to help you out and just have conversation. So we had that in DMI. It was really good. But I like Carlino's a lot. Like I eat their, once in a while. Their meatball stuff is really good. I like it a lot.
well, their cheese area is no joke. There's a cheese lady, and she sits there and explains everything about all the different cheeses. I'm a cheeseaholic myself, so whenever I go in there, it's like I'll be there for a long time because I'll be just talking to the cheese lady. She be
It's a
telling
small
me.
problem, but it's a good problem, I think.
No, it's a good problem to have. So
I want to ask something.
Sure.
What is your guys' favorite thing on the menu?
Yeah, I like the night market chicken. That's personally my favorite because that's something that I grew up eating with. Um, and my second favorite is that I love Korean food. So the bulgogi bowl is one of my favorites.
now, do you have a lot of the hot spices from the Korean food? I know the Koreans like to put a lot of hot, little heat in their stuff.
We have to tame it down because most Americans can't handle spice.
No, I take those challenges on.
Yeah, so Sonny and I, like, we eat really, really spicy. Um, and we kind of came to the realization that if we put our level of spiciness in our bowls, we're going to have a lot of crying customers.
That's fun.
But you know what? One of the things Sonny did talk to me about last week is like, hey, look, customers are asking for something spicy, something spicier than what we got there. So that's actually one of the things that I'm going to be working on when I have a little time. Some R&D in terms of like making either a spicy oil or a spicy sauce, something that's out of the ordinary and that has a little kick. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay. Are you guys running any current specials right now for anybody?
Yeah. So our first responders, they get 15% off. 15% off for our first responders.
Oh, nice. What do they just like show you their ID card, or how does that work?
Yeah, just come in a uniform. ID card, any kind of ID card. Firemen, first responders, policemen, they all get 50% off automatically.
That's awesome.
That's great to do that. And are you before you guys opened, did you guys ever receive any advice as to how to start a business? Did you receive any advice that you actually utilized yourself that you saw like it was actually helpful for you?
Yeah, so I think we're like having 5 guys coming together. It's not just about like having 5 people with the right personality and we're all friends, but between the 5 of us, we all have like very specific skills. My day job, this is actually not my day job. My day job is actually I'm an IT professional. I work for healthcare. Same as Jason as well too. But Jason also does real estate. So in terms of real estate and business negotiations, he kind of does a lot of that. My other partner Leo, he does a lot of like renovations, so that's his skill set that he add into this business. But also Leo, Jason, and also my other partner Benny, they also have a lot of like restaurant experience as well too. And so just talking to them is kind of like, hey, how do we make this work? How can we systemize everything? What makes sense? How can we make sure quality is up here, never dips below this line? So we challenge it a lot, and we get a lot of insight from that.
We also have a lot of community support. So like between our community, like say like our pastor who does like he loves doing like marketing. So he kind of gave his 2 cents on like logo design, and a lot of friends who like own businesses as well. They also gave us, some information in terms of like how do we make this business better, but also the locals in the community. I think right now we have a couple signs out front and on the side saying additional parking in the rear. One of the feedback from the locals, like, hey, look, tell people that you have a huge parking lot in the back. Just because like in the front it gets bottlenecked, and it's also a little dangerous to like back into Wynwood Road. So we took that information, like, yeah, you're right. So we posted a story on Instagram saying, when you order, park in the side. We also have like signage out front and on the side saying additional parking in the rear. So yeah, we get a lot of advice from the locals and our own community alike.
Yeah, it seems like you guys have a lot of like self-circling advice, which is great to have. Let me ask you this though: if you were going to give advice to somebody else trying to get into the business, what would that be?
I think finding the right partner is so critical. Everyone always says that like when you open a restaurant, it's all about location, location, location. Like that's very true. You want to find like the good location, ideal someplace that's a corner with lots of windows because that attracts. But I was talking to a buddy of mine. He's very well versed in the small and medium restaurants in the tri-state area. And a lot of the failures because partnership goes bad. They couldn't agree on something, etc., and the business shuts down, and that's very unfortunate. So you really need to have like a good partnership. It's not just a financial thing, but it's also like, how can I work with you? How can we work? Because starting any kind of business, it's gonna be tough. It's really hard, and you need to be able to work with that person.
Makes sense. That's good advice. A lot of people don't realize that. They don't even realize they just think they want to own a business so badly they'll just do anything, and they don't slow down and pay attention to what goes on. They just fast forward into it, and then it's crash and burn. So if you have easy steps, is basically what you're saying. Take it day by day. I think it's great, and I think your location is good because you're not oversaturated with a lot of people, so you're kind of on your own right where you are, and it's kind of like in your own niche. So I think that's really good for you guys. And congratulations on opening up, by the way. I didn't get a chance to tell you that. I'm actually going to be planning. When are you guys open? That's one of the questions I want to ask you. When are you guys open? Are you open for lunch and dinner, or is it just dinner? Like what are your days? Like what are your hours?
What are your hours?
So we are open from Sunday to Thursday, 11:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Friday, Saturday, open from 11:30 a.m. to 8 o'clock.
Okay.
8 o'clock. Okay.
Very good.
And is this during this time, or are your hours gonna change eventually, or are they always gonna be the same?
Yeah. So it's they always say customers are boss. So it's what time they want to eat, and we realized that like Friday, Saturday, they eat later. The Ardmore community later. It's all right.
Yeah.
Additional hour. So
we're definitely we are a later group. I see people start going out around 7, 8 sometimes.
When are we going to see a sesame breakfast? Are we ever going to see a sesame breakfast bowl? He looks over. He's like, I don't know.
Hey, you know what? If we serve something equivalent enough during our staff meals and our staff likes it, it could be on the menu.
So I went to Japan back in September, and I was doing my best. I couldn't find it, like a good ami rice. So I don't know if you guys have ever dabbled in that recipe or not, but
I love ami rice.
Have you ever made it yourself? Because I've never had it.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. Hard to make. Just the egg might require a little skill, but really good.
I've tried making it on my own. I actually tried using it with chopsticks as well in a wok, and it came out terribly.
Sorry.
So, what was that, chef? He's hardcore. You kind of see him like, doing the skill and everything, and just comes out perfect.
I watched I think it was maybe like something on YouTube. I forget. It was like $3 eggs versus $50 eggs versus like $200 eggs or something like that. And the guy who was making the omni rice was just sitting there like dancing and throwing
Yep,
it around.
yep.
And all of a sudden he goes like flop, and it just like perfect. And I was like, I want to find this guy.
Oh,
At least you let me know that not to let you cook for me.
I'm a good look. There's certain recipes that like hit really easily, and you're able to get them done nicely. Like you can make a good dumpling every now and then, but then there's things like omni rice where it's so like you think it's so simple, but it's just like it only looks simple because the person making it makes it look simple.
Hey, you think the Ardmore community will really want to eat some omni rice?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we
Stay
can.
with it.
It'd be something that not everyone else has on their menu.
There's an app out there called Slotted. So you guys were talking about how you're on Instagram, right? I don't know how I'm gonna follow you guys after this, but there's another business that I deal with, and they use Slotted for like new releases to see if people will like it. So if you had people sign up for like, whatever the Slotted thing is, and see what the feedback is, and that's a good way to try to, for them at least, to release new product. They're only doing 3 slots an hour, so you can only get at that specific time, and then once they're out, they're out. It's like 20 slots. That's it. And then they give feedback and they say, hey, what did you think of this new recipe? Oh, we thought it was great. You should add it to the menu. And then they try it 2 or 3 more times on Slotted. If it keeps on selling out, it's on the menu.
Thank you. That's really good information.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you have to pay for it or not. I don't know.
Sounds like it'd be a good investment.
Yeah. I mean, even if you have, 2,000 followers and you're getting an average of, 200 views or something like that on your stories, how hard is it to sell out 10,
Yeah. During our off hours, we tend to like when we're not busy, we tend to like mess around with food, R&D some stuff, try it out, see if it works. How the number thing came about, we were like, I like Davis, I like fried chicken. Come on, when are we having it? And he started to mess around, like this is good stuff. Let's sell it.
Like
Cronin do better perfected the recipe.
Sure.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
actually like the way you think about that because it's like I said, it's a current. I get taking traditional recipes and putting your current spin to it.
I mean, look, even if you guys, do something like that, you want to try something new, you guys were testing out, like, oh, I wonder if people would like this. What is it going to cost you guys to give away like 5 meals for free or at half nothing? It's going to cost you almost nothing.
Yep.
And then if they come back, it's.
Oh,
I think it's awesome.
Creating your own
like
focus group is what he's saying.
Yeah, like I think it's awesome. You guys are like sitting there saying like, oh, that's actually not a bad idea, because some people would be like, oh yeah, no, we're not interested in that. But like the fact you guys even reacting like that in this video to me just shows like you have such an open mindset, and I can see why the 5 partners thing is flourishing right now in such an early stage of the business, because you guys are just so like well connected, it seems. So props off to you for that. I'll take my hat off despite how bad my hair is.
I also at this time I wanted to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy day to chat with us and letting everyone know a little bit about what Sesami Eats is about.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you guys on Instagram. I advise everybody watching this to follow them on Instagram if they have a Facebook page and YouTube page as well. Before we wrap this up, do you guys have anything else that you'd like to say? The red carpet is yours.
Yeah, we are at 1531 West Wynwood Road. Please stop by. We would love to get to know you. Sign up online, SesamiEats.com, and get 15% off for all first-time customers. We love this community. We love you guys, and thank you for support.
Well, thank you.
And thank you guys. And thank you to everybody watching. New episodes of Ardmore Connect come out every Tuesday at, Brian, what time?
At noon.
I threw him under the bus on that one. But thanks, guys, for watching. Until next time, we will see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye.